journey started before science and engineering, actually. I left school with a string of A-levels and O-levels, predominantly science orientated, but wasn't too keen to join university quite yet. And I had, in the early 80s, experience of a number of jobs. I was an electrician's mate, I worked as a wholesale meat salesman, and I even did a bit of chauffeuring. And a lot of doing this opened me up to the wide world outside of school life, but partly it was because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But it was through chauffeuring that I was introduced into construction. It was house building, but it inspired me personally to take a vocation within civil engineering, but I was aiming for heavy civil engineering, not construction of houses. And so I went to university and graduated working for a company called John Lang Construction on the nuclear island at Sizewell B, which was really exciting, a nuclear power station, and I was right in the heart of everything, the construction and all aspects of it. Setting out as an engineer, as all engineers do when they join a major construction company, but working with all the trades, and I just really loved it. It was such an adventure. And then as you get older, I progressed then and was seconded to Yorkshire Water to gain design experience. And through the misfortune of my boss, a stroke of luck for me, he had an injury. It wasn't overly serious, but it did take him out of work. I had the unexpected opportunity to do a lot more work than was originally intended for the secondment, and I become a chartered civil engineer off the back of it, to return to John Lang Civil Engineering on the second Severn crossing as a chartered consultant working for a major contractor. And the second Severn crossing was really exciting, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But as time passed by, I fell in love, wanted a family, and the gypsy life of a civil engineer in construction wasn't really appropriate. So I took a decision to leave that part of the engineering and still act as a chartered civil engineer, but this time for a loss adjuster, investigating structural failures, responding to explosions, fires, floods, that sort of thing, and developed a new profession, but complementary to civil engineering. And I was a chartered civil engineer, but also become a chartered insurance practitioner, and was heavily involved in the restoration of things that blew up, got flooded, or structurally failed. And then after about 12 years, I returned to my core vocation, which I have to say is civil engineering. And I did that by joining Network Rail, trying to be more at home and locally. I was based in York, and I was a buildings ram and also territory civil engineer. I have had many, as we all have, had many challenges. Most of them around about being able to adapt and change. But I think I've been quite fortunate in the sense that I do enjoy change. It's not that I get easily bored, it's just that I've just got this hunger to learn. And throughout my career, wherever it might, whether it's been a chauffeur or a wholesale meat salesman, or whether it's been a rail regulator or a territory civil engineer, I've constantly learned. And actually you learn more from people as opposed to technical aspects. It's about how you apply your skills as an engineer, but fundamentally the challenge is to recognise that you learn mostly from people around you. A big challenge for me, of course, is getting that right balance between my vocation as an engineer, my ambition as a human being, and also family life. Just trying to get that mix balance. Just getting that mix balanced has been the greatest challenge, I'd say. You know, the world's come on a great deal since the start of my career back in the late 1980s. In civil engineering, there were no women on a construction site at Sizewell B. I can't remember many people on the second Severn crossing that were setting out alongside men that were women. But today it's such a different world, and women are equal to men. And I believe that all women should have an equal choice and opportunity to be in civil engineering, And the more, the better. Because you need diversity in a team. We're going to be talking about diversity and inclusion. Well, of course, you want a mix, but it doesn't mean it needs to be a gender mix as such. It's a people mix. It just so happens that half of humanity are women, and so women should be in that mix as we move forward in all aspects of life. I think it's a very complicated area that is widely misunderstood. I think in society we still have a lot to learn. I think there's an acknowledgement, I don't think, I know, there's an acknowledgement that racism still exists within our industry and needs to be driven out. I know that still people have stereotypical views about race or gender, and again that needs to be driven out. But in my career, I think the important thing has always been about including everybody regardless of race or creed, and to accept them for what they are. And there's a saying, isn't it, always treat people how you wish to be treated yourself. But I think we're moving to a further place of understanding where people should be treated as they wish to be treated, which I think is really powerful. We've just got a long way to go, and it's probably as a result of, but we are all a product of our own life's experience, and we all come from different places and become conditioned from those experiences. And sadly, there are sectors of our society that have not been given the guidance or the education or the opportunity to see the broader world in the rich sense that it should be. Yeah, so in the Office of Rail and Road, we have a diversity and inclusion policy. We positively recruit and provide opportunity for all genders, sexualities, religions. We frequently discuss the issues of unconscious bias, conscious bias. We try and learn from within and educate ourselves to make everybody within our Office of Rail and Road community more aware of the issues that we live with, and some of our own unconscious biases that you may not even understand that you've got. And then that seeps out then into our policies for recruitment, our policies for training, and we are very active in trying to improve ourselves. And just like other parts of the industry, we know we're not perfect, we know there's work to do, but we are putting a lot of focus in educating ourselves and trying to give people more choice and opportunity and attract them to our organisation, so we get a better balance. Often, you consider a regulator as a grey-haired, white, middle-class individual. Well, we're trying our hardest to get a better mix and to encourage younger people in. And as we've discussed already, just using my daughter as an example, we can learn from everybody. You don't have to be a grey, white-haired, middle-aged person to undertake everything that we do. It's really important to us. Predominantly, though, in my role, I see my greatest contribution is actually living by the values to which I've suggested I believe in this interview. I'm proud to say that my team is a genuine mix of male and female. I'm ultra proud that my daughter is becoming a scientist and will have a vocation as I did. So I think the best thing I can do is, when the opportunity arises, speak to people, use this interview, for example, as one of those opportunities, and sort of walk the walk, not just talk it. Well, I hope that it'll have a positive impact. I mean, part of my challenge through life has been doing too much travelling. And since the pandemic has come, we've found new technologies, better way of working that enables us to be more flexible and have more time at home. I'm hoping that this new way of working, this more flexible approach, the capability to have flexible working hours, to be able to stay at home more often, to not operate in the old-fashioned 9 to 5 way where you have to be face-to-face all the time, will give more freedom to people and more choice, and women cannot not be put off taking on a career in science and engineering if they want to have a family, and to have both. And technology has moved on, and the world's moved on, and our ways of working have changed. And I think the pandemic, terrible as it's been, has sort of accelerated our capability in science and engineering to give more choice and options for women in the industry. Enjoy your vocation. It is a vocation. Just celebrate the fact that you've got the opportunity to work in something that you believe in and enjoy, and keep reminding yourself that it's not a job. I mean, this is a wonderful career to have. To be in science and engineering is just brilliant. And if you do come across people with stereotypical thinking, dating back to years gone by, they're the fools. Ignore them, stride on, be confident, enjoy every opportunity. There are no obstacles. You know, the world out there it is for grabbing it, and you should grab it and enjoy it at the same time.